Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome back once again one of the funniest ladies in America, Ms. Joan Rivers.
Tell me the truth. Do you find this attractive? I can't figure out. No, because I bought this because I'm really trying to make my husband notice me. Because I'm married now 8 years, and I used to trust my husband, and that was a mistake. You must always make your husband think you're terrific, and never trust him. No. Because I was in New York, right, and I really trusted this man. And one day I was, walking around, and I saw a cab. I jumped in as a joke. I said, "Where can a girl get a little action in this town?" And he took me to my husband's office. So from then on, well, it gets you crazy, right? See, because what I had forgotten was men are like children with a piece of candy. They see a pretty girl and it's like, and you know it. At my own wedding, my husband tried to make dates with 2 different bridesmaids. And which killed me, by the way, because by the time I got married, my husband should have really been ready to settle down. Because this man, when he was single, and you want to talk? Had an incredible sex life, okay? Yes, incredible. We are married 8 years, and my husband, when he was single, had such an incredible sex life to this day. We'll be lying in bed, there'll be a thunder and lightning storm outside. My husband will sit up and scream, "I'll buy those negatives." To this, yes! You want to hear it? To this day, my husband still gets Christmas cards from the local motel. I mean, it's just, yes! The morning after our wedding night, he cut another notch in the bedpost. I mean, this man had an incredible time. And he didn't date, by the way, just anybody. You know who he went out with? You're not going to believe this. My husband dated the Queen of England. Is that terrific? That's nice, right? Not Jewish, but a nice lady, you know? That's no. And it's funny because he said the first time he took her out, he didn't know how to act with her because the only time he'd ever seen her was on his stamp. So he didn't know what to do. He went over, he licked the back of her head. What did he do? But it was a very serious romance. Because to this day, my husband still has tiara marks all over his chest. Now, that's something. See, now, that's the difference between my husband and me, because when I was single, I didn't date too much. I was not what you call attractive, which is a nice way to put it. I was 26 years old before I got married. I waited so long at the altar, I could have been ordained. I was just... You know what I'm telling you? I dated one guy. Even the name tells you what a loser he was. Morris Fleischman. Is that a name? And the guy was Gentile. Does that tell you what a dope? Morris. He was so. How can I describe Morris? Morris was not too bright, right? He was a member of the school band. He played the piano. So for Christmas one year, I went out and I bought him sheet music. Morris connected the dots. It was just not a heavy guy upstairs. But by the way, the interesting thing was Morris was not good looking, and it didn't matter. Don't you think that's unfair? Because a man in this society, as long as he's alive, is a catch. Doesn't that upset any of you? Am I right? Right? A man, as long as he's alive, we have an extra man. Bring him along. He's 98. Bring him. He's dead. Bring him. We'll prop him. A man is a winner. But poor dumb Morris didn't know this because he had an inferiority complex. He was getting bald. And you know what happens with guys that get bald? They start to comb their hair this way. Did you ever notice that, right? Which is great if you're walking with the wind. But every once in a while, the wind would shift his whole head with a salute. And for a whole year, my mother thought I was dating an Indian. She didn't know. And but he really was upset about it. He used to sleep every night in a football helmet, which tells you. And finally, I said to him, I said, "Morris," I said, "get yourself a hair transplant." But in California, they all do this. You know about all the Hollywood stars, they take it from all over the body and plant. So they took you want to hear interesting? They took the hair from Morris's ear. It looked great, see? But every time you'd say to him, "Boy, Morris, your hair looks great," he'd go, "Huh?" I was lucky to get Morris. I was a late bloomer, okay? Now you know everything. I was 19 years old, nothing going on. I know I was still wearing undershirts. Do you know what I'm telling you? For women, tragic, right? Yesterday, I said to my husband, Edgar, I said, women are like wine. The older we get, the mellower we become. He locked me in the cellar. I mean, it's just... Well, not fair, right? See, and I try everything. That's why I asked you about the boa. Because I put pancake makeup on last night when I got into bed. He put on the electric blanket. I flipped out. I mean, it's just... Do you know what I tried? Did you buy that book on The Art of Loving? I tried the saran wrap. Did you try that? You know what I'm talking about? You get completely undressed. You wrap yourself up in saran wrap, see? I lay down across the dining room table, right? My husband came home. He took a look at me, said, leftovers again? Because once you're married a couple of years, it changes. Am I right? Enjoy it in the beginning, my darlings. In the beginning, when we first got married, the man was so crazy about me, couldn't keep his hands off me. Last time my husband ran his fingers through my hair was when we were out of towels. It changes. Yes. You wanna hear? Yes! That amuses you, thank goodness. The only way I can get a hickey is if the vacuum cleaner gets stuck to my neck. Once in the last 8 years, this man has gotten upset over me. Once he got jealous. I went for x-rays, right? They made me take off my blouse. Edgar went crazy. He took that dentist. He slammed